Hello and welcome to Cymbal Mixing Hacked. I'm your host, Joel Wanasek. I'm a producer and mixer, and I'm here to help you get better at mixing drums. I'm going to start off with a little quote here, which is cymbals, no matter how well recorded, are always extremely difficult to get sounding amazing in your mix. All right, section number 1, bleep, cymbals. They drive every single one of us insane. Okay, so here are the problems that we all face mixing cymbals. First off, a cymbal is a piece of metal hit by a stick, literally. Because of this, it has very complex patterns of overtones and harmonics. No matter how it's cast, it's hard to balance the undesirable frequencies from pleasant ones. Next, if you've ever spent time recording drums, it doesn't matter which microphones you use, how great your drummer is, or how well tuned your room is. The fact is that cymbals usually sound harsh and ear-piercing. Also, depending on how you mic your cymbals and the size of the room, you can get all sorts of nasty comb filtering and phase issues. This is especially a problem with the home studio revolution, as many engineers are working out of small spaces, which are less than ideally treated. So how do you make your cymbals sound better? Well, here are some of the tricks of the trade. Solution number 1 is analog tape and consoles. And now these were great for smoothing out your top end. The natural saturation of these tools was very, very flattering to cymbals. Unfortunately, unless you're one of the few that can actually afford one of these tools, they're simply just not practical anymore. Solution number 2 is saturation plugins. And while not as good as classic gear, some of the new saturation plugins can definitely do a very decent job of relaxing the top end of your cymbals sometimes. However, not all source material is equal, and while saturation can sometimes be effective, it can also create problems and compound them. It isn't a guaranteed fix, so you gotta proceed with caution. Our next solution is broad stroke EQ. Okay, so wide Q with EQ cuts allow you to make your cymbals more listenable, especially into 2 to 4K ranges. They're very easy on the ears. However, they're not very good at removing the annoying, harsh frequencies from the signal. Nearly every cymbal has its own areas that need localized treatment, which is super annoying. And solution number 4 is narrow EQ cutting. Narrow notch EQ is great at removing harsh frequencies most of the time, but sometimes it can reveal even more harsh areas due to frequency masking. Then you end up chasing frequencies and messing up the phase of your cymbals badly. Eventually they stop sounding like cymbals, and you can end up wasting a lot of time EQing yourself in circles, and it's really annoying. So as you can see, that no one has come up with a better solution until now. All right, let's move on to section 2, which is how to hack your cymbals and why that's so exciting. At Drumforge, we're always thinking forward, and since every mixing engineer we know struggles with cymbals, we thought long and hard about solutions to the problem. Several years ago, a new approach was pioneered by us for conquering this problem and eventually was perfected over the years. In fact, we've perfected our algorithm in the real world on many well-known recording artists' albums like Asking Alexandria, Vinyl Theater, Attila, Bless the Fall, Machine Head, Monuments, and so many more. All right, so now look, I'm going to share with you a little trade secret, so don't tell anybody, but we've come to love the sound of our proprietary process so much that we even use it in our own drum libraries. And we even have extensive data proving that cymbals processed this way sell significantly higher compared to untreated cymbals. And what does that mean? This means that audio engineers like how it sounds so much better, and they weren't even aware that existed. So look, now today, our secret weapon is now yours. So here's the secret sauce. We started out experimenting with EQ matching cymbals to different types of inverse noise curves. Then we got even more adventurous and started experimenting with combining different types of noise in different parts of the spectrum, as well as adding some mathematically adjusted curves optimized for human hearing and musicality. With many years of experimentation, we have derived a unique algorithm combined with other techniques which smooths out your cymbals in a very musical way, and they sound a lot less harsh to your ears, maintain the integrity of their tone, and fit better in your mix. That's pretty dang nerdy, right? Now there's one problem. Recreating the exact method that we've developed and refined was really, really cumbersome in a session, like ridiculous. It required a lot of plugins, time, and tweaking. It's also very dynamic, meaning the source material dictates the method and there are variables. And it wasn't until we started making this process into a plugin that we were even able to push the limits of what we had learned into a further level of sonic perfection. Basically, it's impossible to recreate this with literally anything else out there that exists. Now, the good thing about this is that we decided to share, right? Our long-time secret sauce is now your new favorite audio tool in your mixing arsenal. DF Clarify makes your cymbals sound the best that they ever have. So here's a breakdown of what DF Clarify has in it. It's developed using a proprietary algorithm tested on many major artists recording to improve the quality of your cymbal mixes. It increases clarity and intelligently removes harshness in the sound of your cymbals and room mic recordings. It also gives you precise tone shaping controls with the smooth and weight knobs, and DF Clarify allows you to relax the top end of your cymbal recordings with the soften controls. If you want to take our clarity tutorial today, click below, smash the link, and you can see it, hear it in action, and I'll show you how to use it. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any more questions, feel free to email us at support@drumforge.com. Have a great rest of your day.